Welcome to Sleepaway Camp. Someone is watching you.
Hey, Baba, reload!
Someone is waiting for you. Someone wants to scare you to death.
What's going on, everybody? Another episode of Seamen on Film, your favorite YouTube movie review show. I am your host for this evening, Camp Director Mattis. And why am I Camp Director? Because we're watching the 1983 classic Sleepaway Camp. So, this is one that's been in the ether and discussed. Waiting for its day in the sun with this group. However, it was my first time watching it, so that makes for an interesting discussion. But yeah, let's kind of go around what first impressions for the first timers, which is everybody but Counselor Brandon and our activity director Herschel, it looks like. So Camp Nurse Adam and Chef, what were your first impressions on this film?
Honestly, I had a low expectation for as hype as Brandon and Herschel were saying it. And then like the first 15 minutes of the movie were fucking brutal. And I was like, if it wasn't for the movie club, I would have turned it off almost immediately. But then, I got through the filth of the beginning, and it has ended up being interesting. I got a lot to say about it, and I'm, for the most part, glad I watched it.
I mean, 15 minutes, you were almost halfway through it.
I
know.
Bree?
I'm really confused. I'm not sure that I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm kind of like, there's a lot going on, and I can't tell exactly why a lot is going on. Like, this was just 1983, maybe. But there's definitely a lot of things to unpack and discuss. And yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had people ask me about it, and I don't know what to tell them to do, if they should or should not watch it.
Okay, you tell them to watch it.
First time watching it as well?
I probably wouldn't have also like stuck around for it either if it wasn't for the movie club. But it did get interesting.
Been a horny teen Joe, and this was also your first time seeing this film.
First time for sure. And let me tell you, I had to come in with low expectations, and I for sure would never have watched this movie unless it was for Seamen on Film. Anything for Seamen on Film.
Hey, you're welcome, guys, all of you.
And
for the pod.
and after it was all said and done, yeah, I it's weird. I don't know if I like it a whole lot or if I dislike it so much that it becomes good. But either way, like I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to.
So I feel like that's pretty unanimous between us three.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I enjoyed it. I didn't
Look at Counselor Brandon's face. His eyes almost came out of his head.
But I can definitely say, from a comedic standpoint, there's just mountains of gold in that thing.
Thank you.
So much commentary. Let's go to the other staff here and see what they, how long it's been since they last watched it, I guess would probably be the best question here. Counselor Brandon.
Last time I watched it, it had to have been 2011, maybe. I was I had my division watch it as part of our divisional movie night. Something I would do just for morale purposes because it sucked being on that ship, and they all were like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Where do you find shit like this?" You know.
Right.
But what is weird and out of the blue, as I was just telling the other guys, that one of my old sailors messaged me a couple weeks ago, and he messaged me a picture of a movie he was watching. It was like The Last Dragon. So he said, "I really missed." It was like a nostalgia thing, and he loved the movie nights that we had on the ship. And I said, "Oh, that's funny because we're watching Sleepaway Camp." So yeah, he said he was very appreciative of that. Movie nights on deployment are still a core memory from my enlistment, bro. Great times. You made shit better than bearable. I had a blast.
That's good.
And I made him watch Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah,
We need to start inviting guests.
I almost was gonna have a guest from this, but
I'll
things
say
got
this,
crazy, so.
since all of your cherries have now been popped, I'm very proud of each and every one of you for watching this movie
I
because,
watched
like I
it
said,
2 or 3 times, I think.
it's you're like watching the first few minutes, and you're like, "Oh, what the hell's going on here?" But I was 6 years old when I first watched this.
And he hasn't
Right.
recovered.
Traumatizing for a 6-year-old.
And I did call my dad about this movie, and I said, "Hey, remember I used to rent the movies and stuff?" And he's like, "I don't remember any movie I ever rented." And then I said, "Remember the one? It was the one with the girl. She was the killer at the end, you know." And then he said, he goes, "Oh yeah, I remember that." He goes, "I would just pick shit that I thought looked interesting that would probably creep you kids out." He said, "I didn't want to watch any I don't want to rent Rocky or something, you know." He's like, "That's why I rented all those dumb horror movies." But yeah, it's always a great watch. I was smiling right whenever I turned it on. I remembered everything about it that I loved, and I remember then I met this guy, activity director Herschel, and we had both seen this movie, and we could talk to each other about it. And then we would watch it on deployment together, and then we would make fun of the people on the ship and say they were this character or that character. But yeah, I loved it. Activity director Herschel, what do you say?
Yeah, I don't remember when I first saw it, but I last watched it. It's been a couple of years, and much like Brandon there, I made my kids watch it, and they were riveted from beginning to end. I'm telling you, this is a life-changing experience. I don't know that there is a more perfect movie, or at least a more perfect formula for a movie. I do remember the Donald Cook when Chris, or excuse me, Brandon brought this on deployment, and we watched it up in Mount 5-1. And old Aaron K. Bolton asked, "Well, hey, is there any nudity?" And I remember telling him, "It's an 80s slasher. You bet there's nudity." Little did he know, the only nudity he was going to get was at the very end. And probably, I don't know, it might have been what he was looking for. I don't know.
That's right.
But
It's like the
Everything
whole
else is
movie.
illusions.
The whole movie is like, oh, it's gonna happen now. Oh,
It's
she's
gonna
gonna
happen.
she's going into the shower to get ready for the night off,
No.
Hey,
and nothing.
until the end, and then that's all you needed.
Yeah. It's all for that one big payoff. This
Hey,
was
you know,
I don't know. if it's
that
a
reminds
big
me.
payoff, but yeah.
That reminds me of the Family Guy. You know, Peter James Wood says, "Hey, let's go watch a movie. Let's go watch Videodrome." He's like, "There any nudity in it?" James Woods goes, "Yeah."
oh man.
Oh,
So I
my
guess
goodness.
let's dive into the I guess there's a plot or something, but
Or something.
yeah. This opening scene, well, so the movie opens up with a great scenic rolling shot of this abandoned camp, summer sleepaway camp, and invariably just kind of the aged abandoned
Did it go
campsite
on
is
for way too
spooky in
long?
itself. Yeah,
No,
it
no,
is
it was
very-
too
it is
short.
very
No,
rolling.
Very short.
it's
The
atmospheric.
crashing organ
It-
music.
It
It was all delightful.
Yeah.
With the children's voices in the background, like with no children being in sight.
Well, it's kind of like that
I liked it,
memory callback.
but it did go on
at
too
least-
long.
Yeah,
Like Joe's
artistic.
basement.
Golly, cheese whiz.
But you know.
We could have dropped this down to a 67-minute movie if we got rid of that.
Yeah.
It would have been the most perfect movie ever.
And then we have the weirdest setup scene. Like I feel like
Yeah.
there's the Austin Powers like what was it, the like midway or 2/3 of the way through the escape scene in Austin Powers where there's that the guy waving off the steamroller.
Yeah.
I feel like that was all back to this exact scene of the most avoidable boating accident in history.
Well, what was crazy too about it is like that they're heading towards it.
The whole
girl in
thing is
back
crazy.
screaming, and then when they pan the camera around like the angle from the
Right.
speedboat, they're going right towards the dock, and they're only like
Yeah.
50 yards away anyway.
Yeah,
Like, no matter
they're
what they
barely in
do,
like
they can't. There's no way they could turn that thing fast. They're dead probably. But
yeah.
I'm just saying, like
Yeah.
they
It's-
Plus, they weren't that
paying
far out to
attention.
sea. They're like 10 feet
Yeah.
offshore.
They weren't paying
You
niggas
gotta-
attention in the first place. Like, oh,
You had Scotty Too Hottie out there in his UDTs laying out
Yep.
on that boat.
I mean, that's gonna
I-
distract.
You guys should have known this movie was going to be great whenever the first panel scene said, in fond memory of mom, a doer.
A doer.
Yeah, that was weird.
All right. I don't know. And then the whole
Yeah, that's
panoramic
misogyny.
view.
Mom, a doer.
Yeah,
Doer.
the panoramic view with that music. Oh, absolutely amazing. It was outstanding. That credit, that opening credit score and it's like, dun, there's just that piano. What is it? An organ? Piano?
The
What is it?
singing.
I don't want to get too far ahead, Andy, but like the beginning scene, the dialogue up until like the introduction of the mother is like the dialogue, and then all these actors trying to be thespians. I was like, oh, this is gonna be like really hard to get through. It was like really
Oh.
fucking rough, man. That's when I texted you guys like 8 minutes in, and this movie is dog shit.
You know, I'm going to say this though. You guys also recognized it that you don't let women drive. I don't care how much they
Absolutely.
beg you.
I mean,
I
It's
believe
just-
I made that note as well.
But
Right, no,
yeah,
I
it's
had a
a.
different- probably different-
Oh, come on! Just let
I
me steer
worded
the
it
boat.
differently than that.
Just let me steer the boat once. You okay? I guess.
Don't
so.
let people
Then-
drive who've never steered a boat before. is
I'm
what
gonna
my
tell
I
old
you
wrote.
man's
something.
got one that's twice as big.
Boats have a pretty
What
quick
the fuck
turning
is that about?
radius too. They could have just not jumped over that family like they did.
I also
Yeah.
have a lot of beef with the fact that like this 8-year-old kid fucking capsized the
Yeah.
Saturday afternoon they had planned, and his dad's like, "You're just a little stinker" or something like that.
Yeah, no dad's gonna do that.
My dad would have pushed me under the wall. It would have killed me. He would have. I wouldn't have. I would have been dead before that boat even got anywhere near. He would have killed me. So
Well,
Well-
was he the dad or was the uncle? Like that?
He was the
whole
dad.
the whole relationship of the four people in that scene is the biggest enigma ever.
Well,
Well,
yeah, you
until
find out.
later when you see
Yeah,
them
right.
sleeping
I mean,
together.
There's
Yeah.
a reveal, you know. The whole.
Yeah, he made a reference. He
Well,
made a
It was
reference
pretty
that we got
obvious
to go
too
see
because he
the.
goes, when the accident happened, he goes, John. And I was like, oh, that's a lover.
Yeah, I picked up on that
Wow.
instantly.
Wow.
They made a reference too. He's like, "Oh, we got to go see the doc," and the doc ended up being Ricky's mom, of course, because Ricky was with his dad. And then, like, it just shows one life jacket floating up.
Yeah.
And John is like, "Man, that was an instant death, just out there floating that quick."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that little jet ski puller just went
Oh,
right on
man.
top of a human. That pretty.
I just want to say the acting of the skier. was
She's,
talking about this
Man,
belt.
she was into it.
He was
was.
selling frantic.
You're gonna hit
Throughout
that
this whole
league.
movie, people screamed like
If that
really
didn't pull
good,
you in,
like,
if that didn't
intense.
pull you in, I don't know what the fuck you're
I
looking
had
for.
to use my volume up and down like 4 times in this movie. Like
Yeah,
sometimes
they
she's
could've-
on
and I
water
was like,
skis, 50 feet back, and like whispering to these guys basically, because there's no way she's talking loud enough to be heard over the waves.
why the fuck isn't she letting
Stop.
go?
Stop,
Let go of the
guys,
rope.
stop.
Can't just let go.
Also, that
We learned that in the great outdoors.
It just
But I mean, is letting go gonna change the direction of the boat? I mean,
No.
No, you
Well,
just let go,
I'm
then
not
they
trying
might
to
say,
be-
"Oh,
I'm not trying to be party to the situation that's about to
Yeah.
happen.
But she
I'm
also didn't want to be
separating myself from the
accomplice to murder.
situation completely, and then the cops are gonna be like, "What happened?" I'm like, "I don't know. I let go of that fucking thing. These guys are idiots."
like Andy said, you know, it was the steamroller scene.
Yeah. So
But I mean, that first 15 minutes should have pulled you in and say, "Okay, what the fuck is going on? This is
obviously it did. They all watched it multiple
Yeah.
times.
that's true. Yeah. So then
For the
We,
pod.
fast forward was it like 7 years later or something crazy.
8 years.
8 years
Come on,
later.
Andy.
Come on.
Um.
Andy,
And-
not a doer."
Yeah. Yeah. We meet the mom, or Aunt Martha there, who probably delivers the best performance of just about anybody
I
in this.
fucking hated it.
The best worst performance.
I hated it, but in hindsight, like,
She-
all right.
Brilliant.
so crazy.
Absolutely brilliant.
Fantastic.
This
That
character.
simply will not do. Come on.
Oh, no.
God, I was
For a
so
line like
frustrated.
that.
I was so
Oh,
frustrated with this movie at the beginning.
It's a lot to process. I watched this movie on Tubi, by the way, so I got commercial breaks.
You
which
got
is
some
probably the
commercials.
best way to do it.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah, it
the
feels
mother.
long to me, but you know,
I'm telling you, this is one that Tubi got to
Mm.
charge you for. I'm saying you should have to pay because everything on Tubi's free, but this one you should have to pay. Just saying, Tubi, you're fucking up.
then we go to they're going to the sleepaway camp, hence the title and everything. Summer camp to get their physicals from Aunt Martha, who's a doctor. We can't let him tell that, you know, she did her physical on her own kids, which I don't know why that would be like a weird conflict, but you know,
Well, we
as long as you
find
had a
out
physical,
later.
I felt. You know.
This won't do. They wouldn't like that at all.
They wouldn't
Yeah.
like that at all. Yeah.
But so we go to this camp, and like the way I'm perceiving it, or just because of the way the movie, you know, the cinematography goes, we have the early shots of the abandoned camp, and then we go, you know, to the lake scene, and then I'm perceiving it as like this camp was like abandoned, kind of, because it doesn't look like it's in the best of shape as we roll into camp, even though it is, you know, many years ago. But I don't know, like felt like it was very low budget summer camp you were sending your kids to. So the way I perceive it in the performance of our camp director to it's another great character, jeez, is that, you know, he bought this camp for fucking a song and a dance because like you couldn't unload this thing. Also, I don't think he had any insurance, which is why he was also trying to keep the occurrences of the movie under wraps. But yeah, we go. We see the talented kitchen staff.
Oh
No, stop.
God!
Stop. Stop.
Don't say anything that man said,
Andy,
Chris.
yeah, the kitchen staff standing outside watching the
Watching the buses unload.
watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of unloading, go ahead, Herschel.
Ugh.
But yeah,
I'm just gonna throw
has
out
anybody ever tied a
chicken
string
and
around their
baldies.
finger to
That's all
remember
I'm gonna
anything?
say.
No.
I've heard that. I've heard that before.
I've heard it, but yeah, I've never seen it
All right.
outside of TV and like cartoons.
Yeah, Andy, let's go over the kitchen staff watching the buses unload.
It's
Yeah.
disgusting.
It looked like
amazing that,
Joe Jackson and the Jackson Five, and then just some dude.
The you know, Rohypnol was a regular ingredient there for those kids.
I
Jeez.
just put as a note, like as I'm watching this, I just put like child rape, and then so soon and so funny. Like, why
fresh
was that?
chicken.
Was it supposed to be funny? I don't know what was going on there, but that, like, they ain't even old enough to know. Like, they had like the most stereotypical black guy voice ever.
Trying to
They
reel
don't
them
even. They don't even know how old they are. Like, it was just so ridiculous over the top that. This is the exact moment when I went from watch this movie to like was like, okay, this is kind of dumb to what the fuck are they doing here?
Yeah.
This is exactly my turning point where I was like, okay, I have to see how this goes because this is really fucking odd to be this soon in the movie and
this creepy.
This fucking creepy.
Yeah.
I want to point something
way
out.
too strong.
I want to point something out, and I know we don't have a time machine.
No.
But now you guys know what the fuck Herschel was talking about on the Donald Cook when he would say fresh chicken to all of you. Looks like fresh chicken to me, boys. He would say it at least once a day, and then none of you even knew to laugh at it. Now you do. Now you can go back and think of all the times he said
That's
it.
disgusting, Herschel.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, you know what?
Comparing us to teenage girls, our bodies.
We knew.
I'm just saying where I come from, we call those baldies. That's all I'm saying.
That was the one that got me. I was like, nope, nope, this guy.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? In all seriousness, in just a minute, the most despicable guy you wanted to see something happen to, bam, the movie did that for you. Made you want to see that guy back. So for
I also
the joking and the jiving.
Counselor Brandon, you might want to mention that all these opinions are based on our characters.
Yeah, we are playing characters here, everyone. This is a disclaimer that this is not our own thoughts.
Like the joy of having this movie be so
don't go
short.
telling my employer Piggly Wiggly that you hate me.
Yeah.
The good thing about this movie being only like 82 minutes long is that as soon as you hate this guy, like the plot has to, I mean, it has to, you have to hammer this fucking movie out. So
it happened pretty quick.
So
like
did you think this guy was a? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, it was like barely enough time to like establish a character like Judgment, but he, comes out the gate hot.
Yeah, I was like, I think the character was all out. Like,
but also I think as we saw, from the kitchen scene too, this is clearly why the Navy went to like the tilting pots and kettles on the ship. You don't need a 7 foot tall fucking 82. I've never seen that size stew pot ever.
Huge
we used to have
Chef Bree, can you evenly heat a stew in that fucking 87-inch pot?
I mean, I know why it took so long to come to a boil.
That's a 75. That was a 75 ear barrel.
There's so much liquid.
But I thought he was a Navy CS whenever he said, "That water ready yet?" Like, how long does it take? Like, you're checking on the water. Is the water
boil?
Is it ready?
He's pretty good, man. He pops that top 2 minutes. God, that's good, man. I mean, that's
2 more minutes.
Dedicated to the craft.
7 hours.
When
and 2
we were
minutes.
watching that, Adam went, "What the fuck?" Like out loud. He was like, "What the fuck? Why?"
Yeah. From there, we learned
how would you pick that up and put it on the stove?
Yeah.
How would you get that thing?
Okay, so in a
This
lot of
weigh
these
1,000
kitchens,
pounds.
you'll have a hose, and you'll attach a hose to a faucet so you can fill pots.
Yeah, that's a pot filler. Yeah, like on the ship, but like in that 1943 World War II shot out.
And then I guess
that
he's
was
got
like
to
garden
turn the
hose.
water off when the corn's cooked and he's fucking elbow deep in boiling ass corn water because there's no, I don't know how many times you boiled ears of corn, but they don't
That was
always
a terrible
float to the top.
setup.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know, but that thing drove me fucking crazy, and and it shouldn't.
Kind
have
of
gotten me,
want
but
like. Did they have to custom make this giant cauldron pot?
Yeah.
Because I've
Andy,
never seen one of those before in real life.
I've even been to like estate sales. I've been to antique stores, and never have I seen do you guys have that 6 foot cauldron for boiling corn?
There was like a water
Camps?
tank. It looked like a
it's
repurposed
like-
water heater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys something on the camper offload. Was Ricky's old friend Paul comes up behind him and he like says, "Have you seen Judy?" And he like does the whole knocker. So I just want to ask you, what did you guys think of Judy's knockers? Did Paul overrate them?
Yeah.
Heavily.
Hey.
I mean,
Now Judy's going to be about mid-teen here, probably
not
14.
to be rude to a young pubescent girl's body here, but no, Paul.
I mean, other than the fact, I guess you could say, oh, maybe she grew boobs from the last time you saw her.
No, that was a stuffed bra for sure.
Yeah, but
I saw plenty of that happening when I was Judy's age. Girls would just stuff tissues and stuff in there all the time. That was a
Real part
tissue
of the
stuffed
club.
bra.
Guys too.
I always put paper towels in my pants.
Yeah, I guess there was a
Catch that little bit of drip.
I guess there was a meeting between the counselors that they didn't show where Ronnie
uniforms.
briefed all the counselors about Angela being shy and not talkative and stuff, so to treat her a little bit different. Because Meg, Meg's old fine ass, she wasn't having any of that.
So I would like to point out, and I don't know this to be true. I mean, you can't tell it with what's on screen, but this is a fairly low budget movie.
Yeah.
So typically people will bring their own clothes, when we're dealing with low budget. So I like to think that that's how those people dressed in real life. I don't know that that's true.
I mean,
but I would
who
like to
wouldn't
think
wear a
that's
sleeveless polo?
I'm not fucking with Ronnie here, okay?
No.
Ronnie's still alive. He sees this shit. He's coming after one of you guys. I'm not
I mean,
fucking with
for
old
sure,
Ronnie.
man.
And he was a good guy throughout the whole movie. He
Dude,
wasn't
Ronnie was fucking solid in the movie where there was no business
There's not a whole lot
having
of people
solid
that like-
people. Ronnie was a fucking solid dude.
He was the
Fucking
good
guns
camp
like that,
counselor.
man.
Yeah, people didn't want to answer to Ronnie. That's what Mel was threatening them all the time.
Like,
I'll
is
tell
he-
Ronnie.
Is he some sort of like? Is he like the original like juice head from Long Island? Or something like.
Like he
I'll
was.
tell you what.
Is this guy on HGH or like some is he on a cycle? Like there's something going on because this dude is fucking jacked.
Yeah.
He's on fresh chicken. That's what he's on.
Yeah.
I love that he's like as much of a piece of like eye candy as he was also totally nurturing. Like I was like, this guy right here, total package.
Yeah, the yin
I'll
to
say
the
this,
fucking
though.
camp chef's yang.
Yeah, I after hearing him say Angela a few times, I said, fucking Tony Danza stole that from him. That Tony Danza became famous off of that word, and he stole it from old Ronnie here. But yeah, Ronnie led old Angela to her doom almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, he's responsible for that first cauldron of doom. If you think about it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he is. I mean, when he goes in the walk-in, Andy, did you see anything in there that Angela would have liked?
No.
He was probably the most
there was, like,
deserving
onions
of
and
the
Also, it
shit.
didn't really look like much of a walk-in. There was like some boxes and like like looked like it was more just dry storage. Take it to the
You want
walk-in.
an onion?
What the fuck?
I think the chef is probably the only character that is killed off that definitely deserved it.
I
more than
think
the other
Judy
one.
as well.
Well, she's just
Yeah.
Not even dead or
She had like
Biatch.
that's a whole nother story when I get to that death because I'll just
Right.
kind of run through. But also speaking of like the low budgetness, the camp director's commitment to the bit with the cigar throughout, like it ran that thing everywhere. I'd just walk into there,
just had it out.
bodies, whatever. He's just like working this cigar like for 3 days straight.
Yeah.
He's like, we didn't got insurance. We can't tell him anything. It was accident, right? Make it look like an accident. I ain't got no insurance. Come on, these kids are gonna break
Andy,
the rules.
Andy, I did bring up before this. Mel died before the movie's released from lung cancer,
Yeah.
so he didn't get to see this thing become the juggernaut of a film that it is.
That it is.
But the thing is, it was so low budget, they
Yeah.
didn't have the money for the boiling skin makeup for the
Yeah, that,
Way.
chef, so
like,
they actually had to
so
pour that boiling water on it.
you know, I didn't realize that was a practical effect. That
Yeah.
one looked low.
This is old Artie's only acting credit, and now you know why.
Yeah.
They cooked hot dogs in that water before they put the corn in there.
Um,
Just imagine that
Skin,
smell.
like, it kept getting like more boily, bubbly as like you were like as he was like screaming in pain for.
It was weird.
I
Like,
will
it
say
kept,
the
like,
medics,
melting.
the medics did the right thing, loosely wrapped dry compresses
Right.
on the
Yeah.
on the burns.
I want to know what other chemicals were inside that pot because boiling water should not have that effect.
Salt.
You've
You
never
saw how
seen an
much
80s
salt he put
slasher
in
film.
there.
So. Yeah, all that salt.
Saltpeter.
He's not like us,
Right.
where we're all salty. I used to salt water on him.
Who knows what Artie was putting in there, to feed to that chicken? You don't know.
Yep.
Exactly.
Sad, man.
then we go to the baseball
Aphrodisiac.
game setup. There, which like my only comment there about that scene was they're making the bet in the ninth inning or whatever of this game or something. It's like how about a buck a run? It's like that's a steep bet. Let's 5
Make
make it 5.
5.
We're gonna like quadruple down on this bet that I just called steep. Like that's not how that works. Like,
All right, so
I saw those outfielders throw and they couldn't fucking tag anybody.
no, you're right.
They couldn't
cannot.
make any plays.
Like a Raiders quarterback. Since Chef Bree brought it up about the eye candy, Bree, who was the hottest in this movie between Gino, Bill, Ronnie? Who did you find, or hell, even Ricky?
I don't
We'll
know
throw
which
him
one
in there.
was which anymore.
You're
Bill
going to have
was
to
the,
describe their outfits.
Well, they all had just no, like, basically, like, I don't know, crop tops and short shorts the entire
So
time.
Bill was the one that Ricky made the bet with on the softball field, the really short shorts with the belt. You know, like the
With
shorts
the
were so
belt.
tight. I was like, you don't need
Adam's
the belt,
showing
buddy.
me now. Not Bill. Not Bill, though.
Not Bill. Okay.
Bill's the one who
It was the nice
he
camp
died on the toilet.
counselor.
Yeah, there he is.
The nice
And
camp
then,
counselor, because he had like, the personality and charm to go with that hot bod,
And Gino.
Oh.
Where's Gino at?
But if you start cussing at little kids, I'm immediately like, no, that's a turnoff, right? Right? Should be.
What I did write, a lot of animosity between all of the campers.
Oh, for sure.
yeah, it's
So
like the
much
first day
swearing.
too. Like, I mean, I guess
It's
they
like-
probably all went to school together, but it's still like crazy.
0 to 10. 0 to 10.
Yeah,
There wasn't no in
There's-
between.
There's a
They're
lot of
hitting puberty.
testosterone in this camp.
yeah, it's cycling.
I mean, wearing
That's cool.
shorts like that.
Yeah.
A lot of
Oh.
There's
There's Gino right there.
Yeah.
Gino, Bill, and like a triple
Oh,
shot.
there we go.
Wow.
Right there.
Yeah, definitely just that one camp counselor,
So just Ronnie, huh?
Ronnie. I mean, he's the best one.
Yeah.
These all guys, they're a bunch of assholes too.
See, she's doing it based on their personality.
Personality.
What they do. So then, we
Well,
go
I
to
mean,
the
if you got like multiple hot bods, you have to add in something, and it's got to be personality.
Mhm. Okay.
yeah, so that takes us to our next death on screen or off screen, technically, really. This was like the weakest drowning ever. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna casually push you down. Like it's at no point do you even try to resist. Like it's just like, yeah, I guess I deserve this. Like what? So weak.
Are we talking about hey Bob or Rebob? Is that
Yeah,
what we're
where did that
talking
come
about?
from, Herschel?
that's a good one, man. I don't know if that was a Lenny and Squiggy thing. If
I
that's
thought it was
just
on a
weird
commercial when we were
thing.
kids. It was a commercial or something.
Hey Bob or Rebob.
I thought
don't
it was
know,
like a
man.
fucking Dr. Pepper commercial or something. when we were kids.
No, I don't know. Like I mean,
I just remember you're a pepper too. I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Well, right before that, they all are trying to get the girls to go skinny dip, and they go, "No, like you girls don't know how to eat fucking fun." Again, 0 to 10. and then
Yeah.
all the guys
Water
just go
snakes.
running butt naked into the damn water. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I've never seen that happen before either. A bunch of dudes going skinny dipping together.
you weren't in Burthen 3.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
It's a thing that happens. Okay, never mind.
So yeah, that whole drowning there, it was like, when did you guys figure out who the killer was?
I had my guesses.
Yeah, I mean, it was set up accordingly. I would say.
When
But
are you asking?
Yes.
Yeah, like when did you?
When Angela asked what's his face to meet him at the lake shore at the very end of the movie.
No, that's
Oh,
the
okay.
end, though. Okay. So
Yeah.
did anybody think it was
I
Ricky?
said like the second one, it was kind of like it made sense that it was.
I never thought it was Ricky.
No,
I knew it must be like when it was when the chef was murdered. He was like
Ricky,
definitely talking to a kid and definitely offered that kid ice cream. So I was like, okay, so I know it's a kid.
Yeah.
Right.
I
It
thought
was
I
pretty,
thought this was gonna be
obvious.
more of like a traditional slasher movie where it was just some dude,
random thing. Yeah.
yeah, just
Some
some
dude.
unknown
It could be that
stranger
kinda
hiding in
like-
the woods.
yeah.
Jason
I
type
do,
slasher or something.
I do want to say that it was an 80s slasher, and I was very surprised that when they killed Artie, they didn't show him like being carried off with his burns with like a corn cob in his ass. I was disappointed with that. I was like, ooh, you missed an opportunity.
Yeah.
Goodness.
But Andy, you said the drowning when they found his body, he was a little
But yeah, well,
shit. That was like
Not to mention,
6
there-
hours later, wasn't it? They
Yeah.
found his body, on
and there's a
the coast like
tide
that?
on this lake.
Crabs.
There's a lake with a tide, like because now all the furniture's like underwater.
You know?
Starfish
Well,
stuck to him.
I mean, that dude screaming about the kids doing all
Yeah,
that.
they made it seem like the kids were throwing shit furniture. in the
Yeah.
water.
Maybe I don't know, but it seemed like half
I
of
was-
it was like
This was the point. This is when they were talking to the police, and the police is like, "I'm not an expert or whatever."
But I'm no expert in these matters. Yeah.
This was also making me angry because if is to me is what I hate about like Japanese animation is where like the characters have to over explain all of their thoughts and feelings.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
like,
the doctor at the chef, he was like, he just must be in so much pain.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. And I was like, shut up, dude. Like,
I
this
think that was
unnecessary dialogue.
that was
Were
for
you-
you, the viewer, because they knew
Yeah.
you hated Artie the most. You want to make sure you knew he was paying.
Well, the as he's on the gurney was enough.
Okay.
Um,
you know.
So, Adam, you mentioned the cop. Which cop had the better mustache? The one at the
Well, the other
beginning,
one-
or the end?
the other one we learned is obviously fake in his later scene.
Were they the same cop? And did he start with the fake mustache, or did he just end with the fake mustache?
I
'Cause
feel like
depends
we
on
didn't
the
know it was a
sequence.
fake mustache till that close up, but it was like, holy shit, this was a fake mustache. I didn't
Um,
know.
hilarious.
Chef Bree wouldn't shut up about that mustache for like 8 minutes.
why does he need it?
Mm.
Why?
Like, we couldn't believe
Because
that
you're
he
a
shaved it in
police
between
officer
the
in
2
the
weeks.
70s.
Police
that we
officers in the 80s needed mustaches.
Well, mind
Yeah,
you,
it's
this
like-
was shot probably in like 79.
Like, it came with the job, right?
Oh,
The
man.
Yeah.
mustache.
By the
It's-
time you got out of the academy,
They're like, hey, we need
Yeah.
you for another scene. He's like, I've already shaved my mustache, though. Well,
Got you
we'll
covered,
get you a
pal.
fake one.
yeah, it's the worst
Like
fake
the
one.
worst. Like,
Like-
they sell those at like joke shops for kids
And they went to
at a Dollar Tree.
It wasn't even straight. Like it was so obviously crooked.
2 pieces.
it looked like
up and down.
it even looked like it was too big, so they cut off the ends.
Yeah. Well, they got it within Navy regulations, not past
Yeah.
the corner of the mouth.
Yeah.
That was the weirdest. Like, just not have it. Just don't
Yeah.
have it. You don't
No.
need it.
Well, you can have it. I just think that the close up, so that it's readily apparent what's
Yeah.
going on here. I was sitting there watching it. I thought I had a fake mustache, and she says, "How do you know it's fake?" And then jump cut. Oh, never mind. It's-
Andy, when you recasted this movie, who did you put for Sabrina?
What?
I don't
Which
know.
character does Sabrina play in the movie?
Oh,
Was she Meg? MEG.
I feel like I don't know. She could have been a Judy. It was, you know.
You tell me Meg's not hot. Come on, Joe.
It was cute.
I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, like, yeah, she was cute.
He's
I
also
guess.
like 19.
Yeah,
Okay, so then I don't feel quite so bad as
Right, yeah.
she was kind of
Well,
cute.
Because mind you, she later goes to have a late night dinner with the camp director.
Yeah, that was creepy.
I would
Yeah.
like
Hey,
to ask
that was the
Sabrina
comedy that I
more.
loved. That was what I loved. Like, all the other guys, like the camp counselors, Gino, and then we're always talking to Meg. And then every time that Mel came around, you notice that she just completely turned her attention to Mel.
Yeah.
Every scene that they were in together. It was so hilarious.
Like
she's
she was
finding,
into it as much as he was, and that was
this
really weird.
this guy with
Pretty
black
snappy dresser,
knee-high
that guy.
socks, this "Oh, I'll come see you then." He's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, all right, Meg."
His
Okay.
green slacks. Wow, I'm telling you.
Like in,
No, I do want to say I did write down some notes about 80s comebacks.
oh yeah.
And
Oh my god, the
I-
baseball game.
yeah,
Live.
You and What Army was always one of our favorites growing up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also Herschel and No Shit Sherlock
Mhm.
and Smooth Move X-Lax was another
Oh
one.
yeah.
Yeah,
And-
my mom
and-
used to say those to me all the time.
I heard those all the time.
Like, I grew up, my mom yelling at those at us.
There was the Eat Shit and Die also, and then the report. of
Eat Shit and Live.
Yeah,
Bill,
that one.
and,
That one is
that
that was original to me. I hadn't heard
That was good.
You haven't
though.
heard that one?
Yeah.
No, and I loved it. I was like, "Good one, kid."
Ricky looked like a young Lou Ferrigno.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
The
100%.
that's the one big sequence I think in the movie is that softball game, and it really made me nostalgic for them tube socks. Like
Yeah. I had those colors.
same.
They came in a
It was
pack.
almost-
yeah.
So get some.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Also, like-
yellow
Like,
and
just
green.
go
You
get
had
some,
blue
you
and red,
weirdos.
all of it.
blue and red. Yeah, I mean,
Wear them underneath your jeans. I would in the wintertime.
We would tuck our jeans into those socks. We didn't know we were doing battle dress as kids.
Right? Yeah.
Oh man.
or
Okay.
tight roll. I had to tight roll them too.
Yeah. Then
Sorry, go ahead.
go to the next killing, which is preceded with the even though it was the 70s and the 80s and we were free range kids, like somehow water balloons being thrown from the roof, that's a good idea, right? These shacks, like
After watching
They could put an eye out.
After watching the baseball game, I would have walked with no fear. I was not getting hit with any water
It's probably
balloon.
true as weak as the throws were, but so then we get to the next, again, all these deaths were like super easily escapable. Like this was literally off the
Go
surface.
under the stall. Sorry, I don't.
Yeah, exactly. So fucking- also, where the fuck did this Bowie knife come from?
Mozart had it.
Mozart had it, remember?
Mozart had it.
Mozart got it
Confiscated.
confiscated.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were
Did,
trying to
didn't
make you
fuck.
think that it was somebody else. The killer was probably
Yeah.
Ricky or whoever took the knife. That's why they showed it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that Bowie knife comes up and grabs a beehive, which was definitely original. I like that, again, probably another Adam Sandler
Way before my girl.
reference here, going with the Henry Winkler covered in bees, so, some little Nicky.
Again, another death where the body somehow deteriorated quite fast.
Really
Yeah.
quickly. Really
Yeah,
quickly.
he gets
You could
stung
be
up like
allergic
it's
to
my
bees
girl.
and not look that bad.
Right.
Like burrowing into his
That guy was
skin or something.
indescribable.
Yeah.
Like, not
And
anything anymore.
In the middle
Oh,
of a wicked dump. In the middle of a wicked dump, he got killed.
yeah, and
Like-
all we did was throw this cheap broom handle in front of the locks, like you crawl under, or you could probably bust that open.
Yeah, kick that bitch open.
Go through the
Definitely.
window. They just
Or
cut
maybe
open for
through
you.
that screen that's already been cut. I don't know.
Yeah, because last time I checked, it was just a beehive randomly in a outhouse like that.
Very
Yeah.
convenient
And
beehive.
Also, a
do we
clue
ever
that
really
a
get a
child
good
committed
reason
these
why
murders.
Judy's like so aggro to basically everybody?
By who? I'm sorry.
Just Judy in general, like she was aggro and like mad about everybody. Like, what was her motivation? Like, was she just pissed to be there? Like,
Just a mean girl.
Yeah,
She was the cool camp counselor.
she's
Judy was the she was
the
the
one-
mean girl.
She was the mean hot one.
she's the one with the boobs, so she had the attitude.
We're gonna call them knockers.
Knockers. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I don't know, like as shitty as Judy was to Angela, I feel like her death wasn't like as
I don't
brutal
know.
as it should have been.
I'd say that's pretty brutal. I mean,
kind of like a
iron,
suffocating,
that's-
like some of the, and like getting burned or whatever by the hot iron. You know, that was
Yeah, Judy got the hot iron in the cooch.
in the
That's
vajayjay.
what happened.
She
Oh,
opened
that's
the curling
exactly what
iron
happened.
too. Like she didn't just go in with the curling iron. She
Mm.
opened the curling iron.
Yeah,
and
that's
that's
honestly,
where
I was
I was
probably
like,
not expecting. I wasn't going for that kind of that move. I guess
I was like,
figuring
that
she,
I
detail
didn't
was a
know that's
little
what
bit
happened.
jacked up.
I thought it was
just
more
saw
like burned
a,
her face or her hands or something.
No,
I thought-
Wikipedia insinuates that as well. It was
Yeah.
vaginal.
Well, of
Oh,
course,
wow.
the
it is.
Now
second
I-
time I watched it, I was like, wait a second.
Yeah,
She's
re-
not
you
just
know,
burning her with this
reconsider
thing.
them.
Yeah,
You
no,
don't want
because
somebody
I
like
figured
that reproducing.
it's hard to know what was actually happening because they
Yeah.
don't really go into too much detail with this.
I
death.
guess the first time I watched, I thought that she just kind of like stuck it in her mouth. But the second time I watched, you're hearing her scream through that pillow, and the shadow, like is basically
Yeah.
Xerxes, and I was like, wait a second, that can't be right. I wanted to bring that up because I was still unsure about it, but now you guys have definitely made that clear that she took a curling iron into her.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
vagina.
I saw a
Which I don't think
Scooby-Doo.
would kill someone.
I don't
I
think so.
don't
Maybe
think-
unless it.
I don't think
the
I'd want.
amount
I
of
don't
pain.
want a curling iron in my butthole.
No.
Well,
It's trauma,
Right.
man.
Right.
That's a lot of trauma.
Yeah,
isn't there a pillow over the head or something?
Oh, she
Yeah,
was-
it
They moved the
suffocates her.
pillow.
Yeah, she did put a
as
pillow
well.
over the head.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
So
probably
maybe
the
a
suffocating that killed her,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
But I saw a Scooby Doo meme with Velma, and it said when you open it up like that, it's was it 1 in the jinkies, 2 in the stinkies, or something?
Something along those lines.
That's what happened there.
thanks, dude. Good.
Oh man. And then at this point, based on
I don't need any of this.
like no real case of evidence or anything, the camp director accuses Ricky of like killing all these people. So naturally, you have to bludgeon him to within an inch of his life, though he thought he killed him. Like,
Wait,
Yeah.
so
Mel-
did we
Yeah.
cover Meg's slicing of her back?
No.
skipped
oh no,
over.
we didn't.
Meg got stabbed through the shower door and
Yeah.
got her back
It was-
cut
Humming
open.
the worst song.
The showers that were like made of like paper mache, apparently. Like
I know.
you would
She
figure
should've
it'd be
been-
like one of those aluminum, dividers or something. And
No, like use those cheap vinyl ones.
yeah, well, yeah, literally, I was
Yeah,
I was
and,
Dollar
thinking
store
like the
vinyl
linoleum
shower
or something,
curtains.
Yeah, so Mel found Meg. He went looking for her 'cause she didn't show up, right?
Yeah.
And then one of the more great acting performances in the movie. Oh, Meg,
Oh,
Meg.
not my Meg.
Yeah.
and Ricky wasn't at the canteen. He went as it was closing,
Yeah.
and this was like right before Mel grabbed him and pummeled him.
Mhm.
But if you guys saw the way that Ricky was eating that fucking candy, he deserved to get his ass beat. I was like, I'd kick his ass if I saw him eating fucking candy like that, like an idiot. And Mel got him for me, and I was like, thank God.
I think
Did it like it
I
was
think-
like beef jerky or something.
This was at
No,
the
man.
same time the little kids got butchered too.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. And Paul gets killed this time while he's.
that's all on the counselor. He left him there alone to die.
Yeah.
They
Oh
knew
yeah,
it was
That's a
yeah.
bad
And the
idea.
kids at the sleep under the stars
They're like-
assignment.
Let's get all the kids together and keep them, since there's obviously something crazy going on. But
Well,
just leave a bunch of kids
Those-
sleeping by the water.
Those fuckers were throwing sand at her.
Yeah.
well, hey, Camp Chef, I just want to point out it was your boy, Ronnie, who said, you're going to take those little darlings on a camping trip tonight.
Yeah,
He is responsible for their death.
I'm
I just
mad
wanna
at the
throw it out there.
counselor
How
that
good
was
is Ronnie
with
now?
them.
Interesting.
The counselor that was with them should have not brought. He should have started a fire or something to get those other kids warm. You know.
Well, I mean, maybe
Oh, yeah.
so, but with
Could have
all
sparked
these other
something in
They're gonna go to
Adam though,
sleep at
because
the
he's
fire
taking
at the-
notes now.
No insurance scam. You can't.
We're just going to
afford
sleep
burn
on the
that down.
fucking in the poison oak. We're not going to sleep in a. You know.
And I didn't see a fire. What was the hatchet for? What exactly was he doing out there?
That hatchet was
I don't know.
fucking for the killer.
Well, obviously, I mean, you don't want to get the curling iron, do you, kid?
Yeah.
Leave
You
his
get a
hatchet
hatchet or
out
the
here.
curling iron. They all said hatchet.
Hatchet. I think it was.
Ain't got that long of an
form.
extension cord to go to run around.
Oh, even worse, a cold curling iron. Jeez.
Gotta heat it up before I go out there. Put in a Domino's
That one right
heat
in your
wave
pee
bag.
hole.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah, then we get the props to Officer Mustache there as we get the good close up to see how fake that thing was.
Like
Yeah.
brown shoe polish.
Yeah. And basically at that point we when do we see when we go see Paul, who had the late night meetup, post his torrid affair with Judy.
Yes.
That was all set up to like get back at Angela for she's got attitude. That we see the reveal of Angela is not quite Angela.
Not quite.
Oh, it's all Angela.
Yeah.
It's all Angela.
And then she does that weird hissing scream thing.
The best ending to any movie, that hissing screen and then it goes to her face.
In green.
We would do that around the ship as well, and you guys didn't know that's what we were doing.
It was super weird. I was like, that was the freakiest part of the whole movie, was just that weird noise she was making.
No.
Did
Put
anybody
on
stay
brand for
through
it.
the credits and listen to Angela's song? Anybody?
Mm-mm.
No?
Oh, you're missing out.
You guys have said
I was like,
before
this is
that was
the,
the best
you know.
part of, like,
This ain't an
That's
Avengers
something.
film. I ain't staying through the credits.
yeah, you guys hate that. And this one, you
You're
wanted
right.
us to stay through the credits?
You're right. This is not an Avengers film. This is actually a good movie. 100%.
You're right about that. You guys are like, oh, I was going to turn it off.
ruining media.
I was like, if you watch these Avengers movies, then yeah, you should definitely watch this, because you're like, oh, I didn't make it through the first 15 minutes. But you'll watch Iron Man or The Flash or something.
I can't have fun.
I did write Camp
Superheroes.
Director. I did write that a girl with a penis is unsat.
That's true.
Now, Herschel and I discussed this, that was a shocking ending in
For
those
sure.
days.
Yeah.
But if you showed that movie to people today, they go, "What? What's the big deal?"
Yeah.
A lot of
Big
girls,
deal.
a lot of girls have penises these
Yeah.
days.
That's
They just
hilarious.
wouldn't let her be who she wanted to be.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Little Boy Dome kind of threw me off for an ending, and I was like, "What?" That's why this movie left me feeling so weird inside. Like I just got done watching Requiem for a Dream or something.
I like how they cut. I like how they cut before that to the aunt, showing how she got custody of the little boy.
Uh-huh.
We can't
He's all
have two
wrapped up
boys.
from
No,
his
that
head
just won't
wound.
do. I've always wanted a little girl. I'll call
And
you
that was the
Angela.
weirdest flashback too. Like,
You had to explain what the hell was going on.
yeah, I
because
know.
Yeah.
It was
wait,
so
hold
weird.
on.
Like,
Well, then they only ever had the one other flashback, which explained that
The
her and her
homosexual
little brother had
relationship.
The
seen
homo, yeah. The homosexual.
gay
thing.
sex, I guess. Gay cuddling.
Yeah.
Well, who knows
On
what
that-
they saw?
on a twin-size
Traumatizing
bed.
cuddling. They looked like they
Yeah.
loved each other, and I was very excited to see progressive things like that in the 80s.
They did look like they cared for each other a lot.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
I was
what,
like, good job.
But
That
you
was
gotta
the,
understand, in 1983, this was to illustrate deviant behavior. You know, this was not
Yeah.
progressive.
Yeah,
This was how screwed up he was in the head. He didn't know. So
but it is confusing to try to think of it from that point of view in 2023.
40 years later,
40
40th
years, yeah.
anniversary. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it was a. I mean, it was a twin bed too, so that thing was being rocked. That little brass frame wasn't going to hold those two gorillas there.
I do. I do want to just really quickly. Angela Felissa Rose. She's made a career out of being a character. She's actually on Joe Bob Briggs's drive-in theater, or now it's the last drive-in, as the mangled dick expert. So anytime there's any mutilated genitalia, he'll have her come on. She talked about this movie and that last scene. They just hired some college kid off the street and said, "Hey, we need you to get naked on camera." And he said, "Yeah, all right, fine, no problem." So that is you're looking at somebody in all their glory. There's no CGI, no nothing. That is what you get right then, right there. Obviously, that dude is a shower, not a grower. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to tell you this too. All these fucking people out here these last few years with their fucking blue and pink shit. This is how you do a gender reveal, right? That bullshit you guys do catching fucking California on fire just because you want everybody to know you're having a stupid pig baby.
I guess but a better segue than that than to go to the hot takes as we dip into EMI. Yeah, let's go, Counselor Brandon first. Your hot take, unless that was it.
What was my hot take?
That was
I
my
think
hot
this
take
whole
there.
thing is my hot take.
Yeah, this whole movie's a hot take, but I'm going to let you guys know something. My hot take is I don't give a shit how much you work out, how great your legs look in those fucking little shorts. These women, they want men. Somebody who can take care of them, somebody who can please them. You know who they're going after? The old dudes. They want Counselor Brandon. They want Activity Director Herschel. Right? You didn't see Meg going after Ronnie or anybody. She wanted Mel, the man in power. My hot take.
And that I do have a question. For the only one here. Were you drawn to Mel at all during this?
He said the only one here. The
only woman.
the only one
I'm
here.
saying all the guys were gravitating to Mel. I mean, I was. I'm just
No.
saying. Not at all, huh?
No, the cigar hanging out of the mouth.
I mean, he was committed to that cigar, and you got to figure he would commit to a relationship just the same.
Nah, obviously he's got money.
You guys.
You saw how quick he was paying off that kitchen staff.
Yeah.
But
he had his work as well.
I don't think he was good for that extra money. The way he was trying to cover everything up and needed this camp to run,
handing out over 10% raises instantly.
He just got an employee off the. He just got rid of an employee.
Well, let's just say 10% raise
at the end of the week.
I think I actually, while I was watching this, I was like, I'm pretty sure that guy has like some sort of dementia or senility, because he is going off on he has some weird conspiracies happening constantly, and there's something wrong with that guy.
He just wants the kids to have a good time. All right, he doesn't.
No, he cares not about the children at all.
He just
wants to not have to deal with his insurance fraud.
So to answer your question, no, not attracted.
After that whole asked her out on a date, or she asked him on a date, or whatever the fucking thing was, I think she asked him.
Yeah,
he asked him.
Once that happened, I took a harder look at him as a human being, and I looked at his face and I said, "That is a face that's disgusting."
Well,
but then I looked at the rest of him. I took his head off and I looked at his hands and his arms, and surprisingly, his hands and his arms don't look like that of an old man. Mel may have been just a guy that's been out in the sun too long and smoked cigars all the time, and his face turned into a dried up old catcher's mitt.
You're right. That's a Steinfeld reference.
About Mel. The only other thing I've seen him in was an episode of The Twilight Zone 20 years earlier, where he played a chief petty officer. So maybe that was his retirement, and he opened up Camp Arawak.
Yeah.
With all his federal retirement money.
Yeah.
I just want to say really quickly that activity director Herschel only looks like he's 78 years older than this. He's actually not too
Don't-
far from this.
Yeah.
He's actually in his mid-50s, everyone. He's not as
Don't
old.
let this fool you. I'm actually older.
Yeah. So let's go to activity director Herschel's hot take here.
I just it is one of those. I mean, the whole thing is a hot take. It truly is. I mean, it's 84 minutes or whatever. I mean, I think we talked about it in the chat at one point. There's not one wasted scene in this whole movie. It's all there to tell the story. It needs to be no shorter, no longer. But one of the things that I did like was Ricky's always pissed, and we did say that was Magni a lot. But when they were in the canteen and they have the little brawl there, I don't know if we caught it, but Mel's standing in the back with his cigar, just watching. Like,
Yeah, I caught it.
let the boys be boys. And
Yeah. So
you know what? That's who I want to be. I don't want to. They're just trying to have fun.
Yep.
Just trying to have fun. And I think that's what this movie's about: is kids just trying to have fun.
Right.
See,
Kids, yeah. Kind of. Horny Teen Joan. Where was the horny teen hot take? You know?
I personally don't think that this camp really even needs a serial killer.
I have a good top 5 for you, Joe.
And the reasonings behind that are follows.
This is true.
There's graffiti everywhere. So I already know we're in a bad part of town.
It's Oakland.
There's 4-foot tall pots of boiling water. There's pedophile cooks. There's 0 adult supervision. I mean, you have old man Cigar running around and a whole slew of slutty looking dudes.
it's a birthing barge. This camp is a birthing barge.
Swimming at dark? No, just don't do it.
Yeah.
You got kids that smuggle in monster hunting knives.
Like a fucking
That's not acceptable.
crocodile
Like, I mean,
Dundee.
like, oh man, so and so got busted with a pocket knife. Oh shit, dude. What do you have, like a 4-inch blade on there? This kid's got fucking the knife from Cobra.
He's fucking Paul Hogan. That's not a knife.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so like, do not get too confused that like when I
And
say
he was
hunting
more than
knife.
ready to stab somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame him. You probably need to protect your neck in that kind of camp.
You've got shitty lifeguards for sure. They let him throw an autistic kid in the water that had a penis. You got beehives within arm's reach and walking distance. How is that even possible? Nobody went out there and cleared that out before the kids got there. You got an old man hooking up with a kid. I mean, sex crazed teen girls. That chick wanted banged in that camp room, in that cabin, pretty bad. Super sharp arrows that are just left out. Like nobody put those away. Okay. The armorer of the camp needs a good talking to. You have water balloon fights from the roof. Like, come on, guys. And most of all, you have like this thing never, ever, ever gets shut down.
Yeah.
No matter how many kids are killed.
Because they're all accidents.
fucking-
All right. You know,
why
I ain't got
even- I mean,
insurance.
That's
with
right.
all of those factors, yeah, I would have just been fine watching a movie, I guess, with no serial killer and just kids getting into precarious situations.
That's called meatballs.
Camp Nowhere, they made that.
Yeah.
Ernest Goes to Camp. It should be an equally good movie to follow.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my hot take. I don't think the camp really even needs a serial killer at all.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I don't
Thank
want
you.
to follow that.
All right, we'll go to the camp nurse, Adam, first. Then.
My biggest. So I had Ricky and Ronnie were solid dudes, but after hearing you guys talk, Ronnie was the villain, and Ricky is a hero. That dude was downer than like most of the homies from Fresno. You know, that dude was down. Like I would want him to be my best fucking friend.
It's like the real Karate Kid here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who's the real victim here?
And then the chef, the pedophile chef, he totally could have lived if he just leaned backwards from the chair.
Yeah. Again, like all these murders were like super easily escapable. Like you're leaning over the shelf. Like
Andy, I'm not going to let you say that. There's no way that male could have dodged that arrow through the throat.
No, okay.
Well, if they put their arms away in the armory properly, they wouldn't have the opportunity.
Does this camp look like it has a whole lot of padlocks?
Yeah.
Middle of the night to get to that bow and arrow.
Yeah, they don't have padlocks. She had to lock the bathroom doors with a broomstick.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Come
Pay
on,
attention.
man.
But that was it for me.
Yeah. And Chef Brie?
Unfortunately, mine are similar. I thought Ronnie would have been a more surprising killer because he's the nice guy the whole time.
Yeah.
And like has the conscience the entire time. So you're like, huh. He's the only one there with any of that. And then all the deaths were avoidable. So everything else was stupid.
We need to bring back showcasing our bulges. Me and Sabrina were talking about this earlier.
Yeah, we got to go back to properly fitting shorts for men instead of these fucking down below your knees, Jinko looking motherfuckers.
Like,
I got to show my thighs off, and I say that because of Magnum PI.
It just might be more comfortable too, right? Like especially when it's hot.
I have really nice legs. And if women saw my legs more, they'd be like, "Oh, I didn't know that about Chris," because I always see him.
Just start doing it, Chris.
I am. I just got to find the mid-thigh shorts. Herschel, where do I get those? Have you seen them?
I've got plenty. I can send you some.
Yeah, I just bought a pair. Like
Herschel, you and I are a little bit different weights. You drink Diet Coke all the time. I drink real Coke. You know that.
Amazon.
There's like the 80s are back in fashion. You can find
like
all over the place.
They never left fashion. I still got some jams back there.
Come on.
Well, dive into your storage closet.
Did you have a hot take, Andy?
I do. I went
hot take, Andy.
Went full hot take on this, and this is why you don't transition children.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a rough one.
Fuck yeah, they turn into murderers.
That's why you don't forcibly transition.
They can't fucking decide their own bedtime, but they can decide what they want to be. You know, that's the weird.
Massive fucking head wound. And she's like drilling into his head. I was like, oh my God, this is horrifying.
Harry over
like,
there.
It was like the end of it's like when you see that dinosaur meme. That's what she looked like at the end. Yeah, it turned all green. Like, where did that hiss come from? She been practicing that at home?
She was a lizard person, you know.
He probably said they didn't show up before, but talking to Ricky, hey, when we go to camp, don't let anybody pick on me, or I want to kill everybody. Don't worry, I got your back, Angela. Fucking scream at every fucking thing.
Did she just jump from being like she was shy and like quiet, and then all of a sudden her first reaction to any kind of stress is murder? Or has she been murdering this entire time?
Yeah, definitely a 1 to 10 kind of thing. Like everything ramps up super fast.
Yeah.
The betting, $1 to $5 to run on this baseball game.
And let me say something. Besides the throwing, those fucking swings weren't that great either. All right. This guy's hitting a fucking single and he's getting all the way around the bases. Come on.
All like the older kids were worse than the younger kids for some reason too. Like, why was that?
We stop playing baseball, start chasing snatch.
Well, you got to think. I mean, the same.
I like how you went snatch.
Present.
Like,
I'll tell you what, Bill should have been used to After seeing Bill's bulge, he should have been used to handling something the size of a baseball bat. You see that thing swinging around when he was throwing those water balloons? He was up there crouched down on the roof with the water balloons, and he got up, and you just saw it flop. And I just said, Jesus Christ, Bill. What she got going on there, you know?
Like,
then it.
All right,
I don't know what I would have done if I would have found his body.
not enough fabric on a lot of these men's shorts. It made me wonder, like, how does everything just stay in there? Like, are you just accidentally seeing penis all the time?
Jock straps.
Yeah, or
the underwear tip.
a lot more briefs wearing back then. We didn't have boxers.
A lot more tidy whities back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, you got to see them in the nighttime swim scenes. So yeah.
Oh man.
Okay.
Yeah. So the other EMI, of course, was our top 5 list, and I went just in case you didn't have like a summer camp, overnight camp kind of experience or anything to call from. I also went go that or sleepover type activities, or mix of both. We'll go the opposite way, and we'll start with Chef Bree, your top 5.
So I went to lots of summer camp and had a lot of fun memories. One of them was definitely making bracelets, like doing all the boondoggles and the friendships and the beads and stuff. Like we would all just sit around and do that shit for hours. Ridiculous. I liked going out on canoes because we were on a lake, and so we could go out and paddle some canoes. That was a good time.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob or Rebob.
Letters. Getting letters and writing letters was a good time.
Yeah.
Secret attacks on boy cabins. Like we would get our cabin together and our water balloons and
the inter-cabin wars.
Yeah, the inter-cabin wars was always a good time. And then Kangaroo Court, where it was like Goofy Court, and you got sentenced with your weird crimes of like being too friendly, and so I had to hold hands and sing the Barney I Love You song, I love you, you love me, with marshmallows in my mouth in front of everyone, and then give everybody hugs. So there was weird stuff like that.
Yeah.
Some memories.
So there's some weird stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that.
Writing letters, huh? Hello, mother. Hello, father. Greetings from Camp Marijuana.
Receiving them was fun too. It was kind of like, in boot camp when you get letters and your RDCs are rude to you in front of everyone about them. In order to get your letters at summer camp, you had to sing a song, and it was usually like a nursery rhyme or whatever in order to get your letter.
A lot of teapots.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a federal offense, actually. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd have said that. That's exactly what I would have said. Is that to me?
That's what the kids say now.
You mess around
email, so it just goes to
the UPS, USPS so far up your ass. Mail police.
Yeah.
Well, those are my activities.
Cool. All right. Nurse Adam.
Seeing as how this is Seamen on Field, I went full boot camp.
Sweet.
So I went with arts and crafts, and by arts and crafts I mean shining my boots and stenciling my name on every piece of clothing I own.
I think it was called Wear, Care, and Stow.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Holiday routines on Sundays after the arduous week you've had. It was nice. It was really nice to just chill out on a Sunday and do arts and crafts.
Go to church and cry the whole time.
Calisthenics and running. I joined boot camp straight out of high school, and I was cross country and track, so that was super easy for me. Just jumping jacks and running for miles. That was like,
oh yeah, McFarland, USA.
Here's a good one. The nightly soap parties. This is where you would wake up in the middle of the night, put bars of soap in your sock, and then you would correct the can't get right of boot camp.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite memories of
Did you guys actually do that?
No.
Okay. Jesus.
That was
we had liquid soap. We had liquid soap.
we could do the same thing. It's just more like demeaning to get hit in the face with a soggy sock full of soap.
Yeah.
With soft
Oh,
soap.
your
It
baby
didn't hurt,
socks.
but it hurt your insides.
Left no
Yeah, you
marks,
get
so
more
it was
soft
easier to get away
tissue, more
with.
soft tissue injuries, and your organs would splatter a little bit. You're getting slapped with baby shampoo. Like, oh, ow! I got red marks everywhere.
Bro, concentrate.
And then my last is hiking and singing, and obviously this is when we would march through the tunnel singing "Anchors Away."
Right. Like, it's pretty solid. Who
Always
cares?
drink to the
Yeah.
foam. We did.
Last night ashore. All right, corny Teen Joan, your favorite, your top 5 there.
All right. My top 5. I always enjoyed coming into camp and seeing the old flames from years past. Trying to rekindle some of that
Right?
summer love.
Summer loving.
My second favorite things was hitting the nerds in the face with my
Oh.
asshole.
What just happened?
Just got weird.
It's
That
called
classic
Mind Over
old gag
Matter.
was great.
Via
Wait,
the
what?
mind over matter.
Right.
I also, my third favorite thing is seeing my oiled up counselors in crop tops. One of my favorite things. One of my fondest memories, well, number 4 on my list, I guess this is in no particular order, but it was seeing the shaft of the cook when he was about to expose his entire penis, but got interrupted, and I only saw the top half of his shaft. And then
Shaft is such a
my
weird word.
favorite memory was going on dates with old men.
Experienced.
What is happening right now?
That's,
Hey, and I
that's
tell you
my
what.
top 5 favorite camp memories.
I'm going to say the knee-high black socks stayed on too, just for traction.
You may need some therapy also.
Ah,
Sorry.
goodness.
A 60-year-old man's ass.
Well, we'll go to our activity director. What was your top 5?
Oh man. So, well, actually, you missed the pregame discussion. I was the one that never went to camp. So, going to the movies or pick out movies like this one, honestly. You go. We didn't have Blockbuster until the 90s. I don't know about you, Chris. When you guys actually got a Blockbuster, it was like the gas station or whatever that had movies. So you
Yeah.
pick movies like this one based on the cover art on the box. Video games, you know, the Atari 2600, that's a big one. Fireworks year round, so bottle rocket fights. I don't know if
Fireworks
anybody that
year
had
round.
that opportunity.
Bottle rocket.
Yeah, it's a good
Bottle
throwback.
rocket and Roman candle fights.
Roman candles.
Always a good time. And you know, the silly games, as corny Teen Joe alluded to, mind over matter, light as a feather, stiff as a board, all that bullshit.
Right.
Yeah, we did that.
And then, you know, you're just going to emulate whatever character from whatever movie you just watched. So with this one, we all got to fight over who was going to be Angela.
Yeah.
You know, as I'm sure you all did. But I'm surprised I haven't heard it. Well, I'll wait till the end. But yeah, that's 5 activities right there.
You're muted, Chris. Brandon.
What was your last one? You're breaking up on mine.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Was playing and emulating the characters from whatever movie you had watched that night. Like this one, you know, you got to fight over who got to be Angela
Yeah.
all the time.
Like my weenie's the same size as hers. I get to be in it.
Still is, you know, to this day.
Yeah.
Press pause right there. I'll show you.
Funny.
I mean, it's a good thing about having, you know,
And this is as he's a counselor, not as a
yourself
as
if
a
you never
kid.
actually saw it.
All right. Counselor Brandon, your top 5.
My top five. Dang, Adam, that was a great way to think about it. Like I said, I've never been to overnight sleepaway camps. Now, I did go camping with our boys club group, overnight one time, but never. And you putting it as a boot camp, that was brilliant. I like that because that was like a big sleepover. And you didn't
Yeah.
mention like whoever was doing laundry, like you had a streak of the week guy.
Oh yeah.
But so I'm going to do the same thing. Adam did something great. This is going to be boot camp as well.
All right.
Uh,
Well, that's why I said
yeah.
like could have been a just sleepover kind of
Number 5, scary stories. People would tell you that, oh, I'm from Detroit. You're like, oh.
Are you afraid of the dark and blow out the fucking dust?
Number 4, eating s'mores. One of my favorite things to do, which I found out something cool to do is get the Keebler fudge stripe cookies and put a marshmallow in between those and cook it.
Hmm.
And if you got a s'more in boot camp, you're in heaven, No ×2 on the cake, but maybe let me get a s'more, Number 3 is the jerk circle, where you would get the new guy, you got the guy get his ass in a face, but you say, hey, first one who climaxes wins all the money you put in the pot. Everybody puts $5 in, there's 10 of you. First one who climaxes, and you shut the lights off. And then whenever you hear somebody beating it, you turn the lights on. And you see the new guy's the only one doing it. So
Is this real shit? Boys are so mean.
That's why you gotta have those steep bets. $5 a fucking.
That's why you got to put money into it. So people you hear it, the guy's still standing by the light. The guy's still standing by the light, flips it right back on. You go, oh, look at.
It's better than soggy biscuit, man.
Number 2, capture the flag. That was in this movie.
Yeah.
The funny thing that happened to us,
like they're selling it like it was a new game. I'm like, I don't know, but
yeah, the funny thing that happened to us on our overnight sleeping was a guy named Tommy. We were playing capture the flag. He trips somewhere in the woods and he lands and a stick goes through his cheek. So then we all started singing a song as we were driving him to like a hospital. Tommy got pegged. The guy who wrote that song, he died a couple years back from COVID. But and then number 1, pillow fights and skimpy underwear. I don't know if you guys did that in boot camp, but those big like heavy fucking pillows we had in boot camp, when you hit them, you like hit it, it's solid, but then once it hits you, it just stays on your body and it deflates, and you're like, oh shit, just like when I put my head on it. So pillow fights and skimpy underwear were always fun. You got the feathers flying around. Got your underwear pulled up your crack if it's all guys, that type of thing. That's my top 5. Camp director.
Nice. So mine, I went with a mix, because it definitely felt like there's some classic, sleepover activities that are just as fun as some of the stuff you get to do at camp. But my list is I have guess I'll work up to it. Snacks just in general, that's kind of either way, whether you're at sleepover with your friends, getting all the like fun snacks and everything else for the night, or if you're at camp, you go to the canteen or whatever, the trading post or whatever the situation is, and just having snacks and junk food and stuff is always good times. More so for the sleepover setting, because sometimes camp was Boy Scout camp, so we didn't really have like movie night like that. So it was like movie night rentals that rent like the movies you either might not be able to see like normally because you're with your friends and you're at somebody else's house or whatever, and their parents don't care what you rent, kind of those kind of things, or just seeing some of those different movies you wouldn't normally rent because you're with your lame parents or something. So that kind of stuff was fun. The campfire social, there's always that kind of the one night at camp where you have like the whole camps together, and there might be like skits or stuff like that, and like the big campfire social, whatever you do. It's good times. Canoeing or boating is always fun. You know, if you got the lake, like Sabrina and stuff like that, you know, going out on the lake, the canoes and boating in general, like a rowboat or something with your friends is fun to go out in the water and dick around like that. And then you know, archery or any shooting sports, because that was, you know, again, stuff you didn't always get to do at home. So yeah.
You just described every scene where someone was murdered in this movie.
That's also true.
What's
You
wrong?
know, I mean, they're solid plans.
Doing this.
And he goes, oddly enough, I lost my virginity at camp with this girl with a penis or a boy with long hair. I don't know.
Well, I didn't even realize that wasn't intentional. That's funny. Yeah. So let's. Is any other closing remarks before we rate and then deploy this movie?
I would like
still don't know how I feel about it.
I would like to say that this is a very cool movie that was very nostalgic to me, and I did call my dad.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't remember that shit. He goes, but then I said, oh, it's the girl with the penis. And he's like, oh yeah. He goes, I remember you guys going, oh my god, that's so weird, you know, like seeing his little kids with that reaction. But he's always talking about that's why you chose these movies. Like Herschel said, you choose the movie based on he said, whatever looked cool on the cover is what I would grab for you guys. He goes, and I don't want to watch it. I just want to watch some shit that might be interesting. And I know we joke about this movie all the time. And we Herschel and I really like this movie. And everybody that's seen it has been glad that they actually watched it. And it is something that I think it is a movie that everybody should watch. It is a great 80s slasher.
Yeah.
And that when Andy picked it, I didn't know how I was really. I thought it would be funny that all of you would have to watch it and like see your reactions. And Herschel and I even thought about maybe we should all watch it together, but then we said no, nobody should be allowed to talk to one another as they're watching it because they won't fully grasp everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Good choice.
And I agreed with him. And now it'd be fun, like if we had a watch party. Watch it because the moment I turned this on last night, I mean, I couldn't stop smiling because I knew what was coming next, what's about to happen, the overacting, the 0 to 10 fucking emotions.
Yeah.
In this movie,
Everything wraps up with something.
You know, and I was very happy that you picked it. Very surprised that you picked it, and it kind of motivates me to want to pick a horror
Andy was
movie.
defeated. Take it easy.
Yeah. He was like, let's just get this out of the way. It's going to happen.
I was like, I don't know why I keep getting horror. I'm like the worst person to be picking this genre.
And you
Obviously
good
not.
ones though.
Well, it took all the work out of it. You know?
I think
you're like, fuck it, let's do it.
I think we should skip Chris's next pick because he essentially picked twice.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I was glad that you guys got to watch it, and I'm glad that you guys had these like once you watched it, you I think you all got a full appreciation of 80s.
Hold on until the ratings. You might be taking some of those.
Oh, we don't need to go through it. I mean, we're going to get an average of 9 from everybody. So,
so yeah, let's.
Thank you, Andy.
Do them together, or do we do just ratings and then we do the deployment or not?
Can we do deployments after? Because I want to create like a graph that says deployment, like you're stamping on a file folder when I edit the video.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's rate the movie first. Then. We'll start. I guess we'll probably work our way up the scale here. So we'll start with Adam.
Work our way up the scale.
Yeah.
Oh man. Just to reiterate, like this movie started off really bad. Then it became the storyline was more interesting than the the actual movie itself, if that makes sense. Like give this movie like a modern day recasting and like wipe our woke minds. And let's just redo this in a more like I don't know serious and my problem was with the actors and the dialogue and stuff like that. So
First off,
It could have done.
but before you say another word,
okay,
there were no actors in this movie.
Yeah,
so rate
exactly.
it properly.
I'm gonna give it.
Certainly were.
I'm giving it a 5, Andy.
All right. Chef.
All right. Well, I honestly still don't know if I love it or if I hate it. Like, that's where I'm at with this movie. Which,
Okay,
let me speak, please.
I want you to think of this woman here.
Counselor Brandon.
Aunt Martha. You think of her performance, all right?
Why is he just... There are some real characters in this movie. There's a lot going on. It's definitely fun to talk about. I wouldn't like, this is a movie I would watch again with a group of people, but I will never ever turn this on just for the funsies of it. Like, I watched it. It's good. Bucket list item. Done. But if I got a couple of friends together and I was like, you guys want to see something weird? This is exactly what this is similar. Yeah. So that being said, I'm going to give it a 6 because there is entertainment value in this for sure. But I do not think it is absolutely essential to watch. That's it.
All righty. 6. Joe, the horny teen perspective on this movie?
To give a 2018 perspective on anything.
Oops, you really missed an opportunity there.
I just thought of the horny teen angle like before.
That's a
before
good
the show
name, though.
started.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm glad I watched this movie. I am. It's like I said, I was not into it. I thought it was kind of dumb, and then we were introduced to the cooks, and I was like, well, now I have to see how exactly this whole movie pans out, because the shit is off to a really weird start.
Yeah.
So I was totally. That's when I sat up in my chair and was like, no way.
Right.
And I would recommend this to other people. I would tell them to watch this movie. I would try to watch this with them. I want to see reactions because and afterwards I felt filthy. Like, I did watch Requiem for a Dream. Like, I didn't know how to feel. Like, it was like I didn't know what to do. So I just like stared off into space for 20 minutes contemplating the meaning of life. What if I just it's so weird.
Joe had said my feelings better than I did, I think.
I was thoroughly impressed by the time that this movie was finished. And I laughed out loud multiple times at some of the friggin' nonsense in it. I mean, it's crazy weird. So I'm going a 6.5. I mean, it's not mind altering it was mind altering, but it's not like, to me, it was, I think it's a hard sell to other people to get them to like this movie that much. I don't know these types of people in my life. I don't know. The types of people I hang out with would not be interested in waiting for the sweet payoff of this movie.
I think the payoff was every scene, though.
Yeah.
But I would, if I could get people that wanted to watch it or would be open-minded about it, yeah, I'd be into this. This movie's it's decent. It's better than Final Destination.
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So sit on that. I don't even know what I gave that one, but I mean, this is 6.5. I'm not even going to worry about what I gave other horror movies.
All right.
This is what I feel right now.
I think I gave it a 4.
Now we battle for first and second. Herschel, what do you?
Battle for
rate
first and
is?
second.
So, like I said,
Look at the distress on this man.
there's not a wasted scene here.
Don't quit the movie club.
But I'll tell you what, in all honesty. So, Brandon is right. There are no actors in this movie. But calm was they were not afraid to take chances with this movie. So no budget, no actors, and everybody that talked about it, you know, the few that we've heard from here, you stayed through the whole thing. You thought about cutting it off, you stayed through the whole thing, and you were all glad you finished it. And I don't think anybody saw the end coming. You knew what you were getting into, but you had no idea. And this little cheap movie that was made for $40, it kept you guessing, and you were wrong until the very end. But it is nostalgic, and like everybody else has said, I have seen it multiple times. I know what's happening, and I still enjoy it every time. So it's probably going to shock you. I'm going to give it an 8. This is an 8. This is a solid 8.
Okay.
Because they do a lot of conventional horror things, but then there's a lot of non-conventional things. How many kids get killed in movies nowadays? You don't see it. Pretty much everybody that gets killed here is a kid.
Yeah.
With a kid killer, obviously. But anyway, solid 8. It's good that they made 5 sequels because 84 minutes was just not enough. Bam. Done. Cut print.
Counselor.
I think his beard is interfering with the microphone.
It's possible.
Yeah, a lot of static coming off that thing. Did you comb it with a? Did you comb it with a balloon today?
His beard should act like a pop filter.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with everything that Herschel said. Usually, you don't get to make a sequel unless the first movie does well. Well, you get to make a sequel when you only paid $50 to do the first movie.
Yeah, the budget was $350,000.
Holy shit!
It made 11 million. Now, granted, this 83 money or 79 money. I feel like, given the way like some of the scenery and stuff in the wardrobe, I feel like this was shot like 79. It was not quite into the 80s. Like,
yeah, I mean, they made everyone shorts out of the same piece of material.
Literally.
I don't know. Just the aunt's performance gives you that 80s horror creepy feeling. And if you don't know, like at the end when she's talking, when they go to the flashback, that just won't do. You can see her breath coming out. Like, how cold was it in this? Where are they shooting this?
Stage, yeah.
Yeah. You can see her breath, and she was so creepy. And I remember that vividly when I was a little kid. That creepy aunt. The way she talked. My whole thing about this movie was like, yeah, you could probably guess the killer, but you can't guess the killer. 80s slasher, over the top, weird looking deaths and things like that. That's what you love. Just give me a camp and a killer, and you got a movie. I mean, shit. There's 4 or 5 of these. There's fucking 13 Jasons or something.
Yeah.
And that's all you need. You don't need all of the jump effects and all that stuff like they have in the modern things. And they try to get too gory now.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, they figure that's the only way they can scare people and stuff is.
Yeah, it's not scary. It just, it's kind of gross. Makes blood rush to my feet. But but for this movie, just from beginning to end of the not having any actors and just keeping you engrossed with the overacting, like absolutely zero training, and they're like, hey, you're really angry in this scene. And it's like, so you're gonna be really calm and you're gonna be really angry. Now, we know people like this don't exist. Maybe in the future, in the Navy, a little CWIS tech, he might be that way. But Ricky, there was no in
on a hairline trigger.
Yeah. Careful with Ricky, with crossing him. But like Adam said, he's a ride or die, loyal gorilla. Yeah. If you ask him to bash someone's head, then he'll do it.
Like Fast and Furious, he's got family.
He's got family. My ranking for this is an 8.5 because it has everything I want in a movie, and I never wanted a girl with a penis. but like Joe said, this would have been a great movie without the serial killing. Just if all those deaths were accidental, like the implied, it was accidental, right? It was accident, let me
They
get
got
this fucking
insurance, so
corn.
these kids are gonna fucking
Just a coming of age story with accidental deaths.
and I'm
Yeah,
trying to survive.
Yeah, the girl's curling her hair, she fucking hears a noise, she sits it down, and then she goes back over there and trips, and right up the cooter is a curling iron,
Yeah.
It's happened. So I give it a good 8.5 for this one, Andy, and thank you for picking it. I mean, I didn't think you would. I thought you would joke about it, but and I'm glad you guys got to watch it. And the good thing is, when you do get other people to watch it, and all of this shit is coming, and you see their reactions, and you just kind of sit back and enjoy that and stuff. But I enjoy this movie every time I watch it.
Yeah. I don't think. Well, it's definitely not on brand for me, so I couldn't recommend this to anybody really per se. But I mean, like, there's plenty to talk about with this movie, that's for sure. There's definitely lots of laughs to be had because it is so insane. But not really a fan of the genre, which always helps. So I'll just cut to the chase. I give this movie a 4. I mean,
Oh.
but I
I
will
didn't see that coming.
have that discussion with anybody about this thing that's endured it because there's plenty to unpack. So I guess from a weird secondary entertainment value of discussing this movie, it delivers, but as far as cinema itself, not for me.
Did not expect to not have the lowest score in this.
It's M. Night Shyamalan owes his career.
Yeah,
This movie.
basically. I was
Would be
thinking that.
Sixth Sense big reveal without this tiny reveal. Chilly reveal. We saw that chick's breath earlier. So.
Hey,
well played.
We haven't discussed. We discussed that this camp was in the woods, but the bush on Angela was. Jesus. Probably capture the flag in that thing.
So
no matter how small the flag is,
I haven't seen that since the showers at boot camp, essentially.
Looked like a bird egg sitting in a nest.
All right.
Goodness.
So
now the $1 million question: is this a deployment movie? I mean, I guess where do we want to start? We'll start with Horny Teen Joe.
It's a deployable movie because it's out of control. It is one of those things you can sit around, you can watch with your buddies. If you've already seen the big reveal, then the next time you watch the movie, it's just like picking up on all sorts of just nonsense. I wrote most of these notes in the 40 minutes that it took me to watch this. I power watched this movie. I fast forwarded through like 40 minutes of it. And you heard my hot takes, dude. I picked up some good stuff. So yeah, this is deployable for sure. This movie's definitely deployable. And then to watch those little kids get their fucking minds blown when they find out that Angela's a boy. Well worth it. Deployable. Put a stamp on it.
All right. Go to I know what you're gonna say, but go for it, Counselor Brandon.
Of course it's a deployable and deplorable.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're like looking for little things in this movie. You pick up on the little things, and somebody's going to watch it. And I would say back when me and Herschel first joined the Navy, we had a different TV system on our ships to where whatever they put on at 10 at night, that movie ran for the rest of the night.
It's on loop, yeah.
So, like I said, I was in the fucking Sea Mount for watch, and fucking Castle Freak came on. I had to watch. That was what I was watching all night, and I was like, no, I'll just play PlayStation, I guess. But But yeah, deployable movie. Somebody's going to say, "Hey, man, a fucking girl had a penis at the end." Everybody's going, "What movie was that?" And then when it comes on again, it'd be like this movie, and they're all going to sit down and start watching it. It is a deployable movie because Herschel and I watched it on deployment, and our division watched it on deployment.
Oh.
And I say, we're better people for watching it. We know what good movies are now. Great 80s slasher films.
Adam?
Fuck no. It's not a deployment movie. Bad acting, bad dialogue. I mean, you gotta admit that the deaths were pretty lame.
No. We're talking about Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah, and and that they put out the movie schedule, and I'm like, what the fuck? Sleepaway Camp is on, and I called the Seamen, and I was like, yo, Smoking Aces were supposed to come on, and they're like, Chief Mashavecchio called down, and he made us play Sleepaway. I'd be fucking irate. Hell no, this is not a deployment movie.
I was so adamant.
I heard the IVEX phone ringing that one.
Yeah, on our first ships, we didn't have IVEX.
I'm powered.
I suppose it's me now.
J-Dial.
I can't imagine this playing in the female birthing. I just cannot. I keep thinking about it, because I was like, I just don't foresee it happening. So, and I definitely don't think they'd put this on like the community TVs,
not on the Mestex
site TV.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say no. This might be some dudes playing it on a laptop in a corner somewhere for sure with his buddies, but it's not a deployment movie. It's not for
Are you saying you can't see it in female birthing because you think the movie's too gross for female birthing?
No, just okay. Like, because the only movies that ever played in the female birthing were like comedies and like Fried Green Tomatoes and shit. Like I don't remember. This just didn't fly.
Not horror movies, I doubt it.
Yeah, like horror movies weren't often the thing to watch as a community.
Sure.
Even if the killer was one of your own. Okay.
I guess so.
Fair enough. And that leaves us with Herschel.
It's definitely a deployment movie. Obviously.
I don't think anybody's going to be shocked here, but it is a deployment movie, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because you watched it when you were on deployment.
Because everybody here that watched it, you enjoyed a part of it. You just sat here and talked about it for an hour, and you giggled about it. And you
Well, like I said, there's plenty to talk about with this.
And I mean, you can watch, your Fried Green Tomatoes or your whatever Marvel Cinematic Universe. You're not going to sit there and talk about that shit for an hour straight, giggling. You're not going to do it.
When Captain America picked up Thor's hammer, I could go on for.
I mean, yeah, okay, whatever. Kid in the back who's probably not going to make it. So, yeah. But the thing is, it is a fun movie to watch.
Yeah.
And now, having seen it, imagine sitting down with a bunch of people who have never seen it, knowing what's coming up, and just being able. You've already processed it, and you're just watching.
This is the problem. This is the problem, though, is that you have to orchestrate getting people to watch it. Like, yes, we were forced to watch it because of the pod, but nobody's forced to watch a movie in the birthing. Therefore, like, if it doesn't catch your interest, you're just gonna walk past it.
Well, I mean,
and it's usually a community. Everybody's got to go.
Right,
but I'm okay with watching
there is
it.
like the era of like, there's a lot of movies you watch on deployment that you never would watch, regularly.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
When
but
I've
there's
watched
usually
these
like
guys
a
as
couple
many times as I
people
did,
agreeing to watch something, and if I've got to explain it too much,
there was never a this time it's Sabrina's turn to pick. That never happened.
Like when you're like trying to decide, hey, can I get a few hours of sleep or can I watch this the first and you're and the first 8 minutes of this movie is on, like you're gonna hit your rack 10 times out of 10.
Well, hey, you gotta have priorities, and what can I say? There's no accounting for taste here. Yes, it is a deployment movie. There you go. It is. Just deal with it. You're all wrong.
I don't. I feel like this is probably one of those weird things where like you end up watching it on deployment like due to lack of options or something weird, or just somebody
or because your
or
chief
you're
is
serving with
Vecchio and he
Herschel
said,
or
"Get your
Brandon,
ass
yeah.
over here."
It's divisional
And,
watch party
You
night.
watch the
and I'm
movie
making
and you're like,
movies.
well, it's something I've done. I mean, I do like. I appreciate bad movies, and this, for like the commentary and everything else.
It's
Kind of
niche.
go down. Yeah, so I would say it's deployable. So kind of split the difference, I guess. Low rating.
The eyes have it.
Mhm.
I was also one time we orchestrated our division to watch it. At Mount 51, it was in the dark, and whenever the end scene was coming up, Herschel, and everybody reacted to the end scene. Herschel turned on the lights, and Herschel comes up from behind the TV naked and starts doing the same scream as Angela. That was one of the better ones. That was like one of my favorite times watching it as well.
And it was all to scale too. It's weird.
Same size as it was on the TV.
Just like a spice drop on top of a ball of hair. It's so weird.
It was like an Iron Man hologram coming out of the TV.
Oh my God, stop. Don't sully this movie's good reputation with that swill.
This generation doesn't know what cinema is.
Like a squirrel peeking out of a nest.
Oh, real quick, Andy, before you Chris, can you cast all of us into this movie and then Herschel just say like yeah or nah?
Oh yeah.
Andy's Mel.
Got
Gonna have
cigar
to go-
smoking old man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sabrina.
But
You can come back to me. You don't have to grimace like that.
Sabrina. Are you going to be Angela? Well, Joe is going to be. I got to put Joe as Bill. Maybe. I don't know about your. I don't know about your pork sword, but But I was thinking you'd be a good Bill getting killed during a wicked dump. Adam's going to be Ricky, of course.
Ricky.
yeah,
And then we're going to make
we
going
don't
to
have
make
Magnus
Sabrina
yet.
is going to be Judy. In this
I think
one.
that's a good one.
We don't want to put her with a penis at the end. I don't know if she wants a penis at the end, but
The angry, horny one.
who is she making out with though? Like just trying to make out with different boys. I don't know how
Everybody.
Everybody.
Tell you right now.
Sabrina, since you
I
done
was the
this,
least like Judy at summer camp.
right? Who was though? Who did you know that was like Judy? Since you
There
went to
were
be-
girls like that. There really were like just angry, horny
Where are they?
girls at fucking summer camp. Because people would, hormones are high and everybody would claim their boyfriends and their girlfriends from the prior year. Like, that's a real thing. But I didn't get involved in that.
because Adam's sitting.
I just
right
wanted to make boondoggle bracelets and go canoeing.
Boondoggle bracelets.
Hey, we got a new kid. We got to do the circle jerk in the cabin tonight. Let's go do the mind over matter. Andy, do you like being Mel?
Fine with it.
I'm pretty sure I'm not fine with mine, but
And hey, just so nobody brought this up. Mel did get to see her naked that night.
That's true.
Yeah. Mission accomplished. Mhm.
Naked and wet. Well, no, she turned off the shower.
Yeah.
So,
Body was already as cold as like been in a freezer for about a month.
Yeah.
They came out of there blue.
Yeah.
This movie
In
got
10
me
minutes.
from the
Yeah.
beginning.
Like she wasn't dead, but 10 minutes. She already.
The moment I see
Cold as
boiling
ice.
skin, I was like, okay, good pick, Dad. Oh, Guido picked the right thing, you know?
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
I guess that wraps that up.
Yeah. So we got
I'm loving it.
next movie and the spin of the wheel.
Okay, Brianna, let's do it.
So I got 2000s horror / thriller. And I honestly have had a doozy of a time picking out a movie because I found a lot of movies that I really liked out of here. Even like, because this was when I was, between 18 and 28, so I was actually going out and doing a lot of horror films and stuff. But due to the fact that we just did Blade, so blood and vampires and action, and then we just did this.
We're doing Blade again?
We just did Sleepaway
Blade
Camp
3
with like all the slashing and the
Blade Trinity?
deaths and the murder.
Underwood.
I decided to go with the thriller route. And I'm going with the 2004 Secret Window, starring Senor Johnny Depp.
I was gonna say, like,
It's got a 6.5 on IMDb and a 45% rating on that tomato thing.
Oh.
It
I'm
directed by David Cope.
And that one too.
I do have to mention that this movie, Korn, plays a big part in it as well.
And I'm assuming
Band?
you all seen it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I watched it on deployment.
You're on mute, Joe.
I have not seen this movie since probably when it very first came out on DVD.
Yeah.
Allow me to ruin
So
it for you.
I remember nothing about it.
I rewatched it. See, I watched like so many movies trying to figure out which one I was going to pick for us. Just a shout out. Midnight Meat Train, pretty fun still. And
What
Ghost
movie?
Ship.
Meat Train? What?
You just like Bradley Cooper, huh?
Yeah, with Bradley Cooper. But like I said, we just did vampires, so not doing it again. And then Ghost Ship. That's a blast. And our
It's
buddy
fun.
Carl Urban does make an appearance in that movie.
It's fun. I like Gabriel Byrne.
No semen injured.
That was my reaction too, Joe, when she told me.
So I would
She didn't
say,
pick it. It's like she learned nothing last season.
what?
You got a
I
choice
think
to put
she's
Carl
speaking-
Urban in a movie that
I
we
think
would
she's
watch.
speaking loud and clear, guys.
I know. I'm hearing her.
What do you guys want?
Just saying.
Well, you
She
all
went
seen
topside with that one.
it.
I think it's a little late to get annulment, but I mean,
What
maybe
what
Yeah,
year?
I don't want to
did
make
say
you
this
guys
movie?
too happy.
What year did you say this was?
2004.
I don't remember this movie. I do
I was
remember
16
the ending.
years old when this happened, so.
It's not a true story.
Got it. I want to be surprised. I want to be thrilled.
halfway through my enlistment in 2004.
So this will be a refresher. It'll be a good one though, because I can't remember anything in the plot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I saw it, but I didn't like purposely see it. It was probably
Yeah.
just like
I mean, it was
I had a
Johnny
feeling
Depp,
that
but
it was a
doesn't
movie
narrow
you
anything
probably
down.
saw once, if at all, and you got rid of it. And that's what I went for.
Like
Or,
This is before Johnny Depp wore 17 bracelets.
yeah, it's true.
You can
Married
find
a
it on Amazon and Tubi, by the
Bed
way.
shitter.
Tubi?
Maybe he was married to a bed
Tubi,
A bed
and I
shitter.
think maybe Peacock even. I don't know. I was watching on Amazon earlier.
It's on Prime, yeah.
I shit the bed last night.
any homework. As of
I
now?
have not come up with a homework assignment because I decided like an hour before we started what movie we were going to do.
Very well.
So I'll get back to you on
That's
that.
fair.
Stand
Who
by for
picks?
the sun.
Who picks after?
My pick,
You got 90s horror
90s horror.
or thriller.
Really? Wait, what?
That's the last
That's all.
category.
Yeah, damn.
That's the last
Oh.
category. I know not everybody got their free for all pick, but if you guys want to go through Free for All, or we could end the season and watch PB's
Something
Big
together.
Adventure for the recap episode.
Well, I'm really glad I picked a thriller then.
Or Almost Heroes.
Pee Wee's is a thriller till you
It
find
is.
out the Alamo doesn't have a basement.
Are you
said
guys cool?
90s.
Are you guys cool with just wrapping up after the 90s, or do you guys want
Yeah.
your free for
Yeah,
all?
we can start the wheel back over. We can add
Yeah.
more, take more away.
Yeah, either way.
You say
Maybe
90s
some-
horror
Or thriller?
or thriller? Didn't we?
We get some
How is
mixed
90s horror still on there if you did Blade?
That was
It's
action.
action.
That's action.
That's action?
Fuck yeah, it is. Did you not watch his
Now he
introduction?
fucking threw that lady across the fucking city street.
Were you
into a-
horrified at all?
There was
I just
action.
saw the I
Pillows.
just saw the take my blood orgasm scene.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a rom-com. The fucking rom-com in disguise.
Get the heck out of here.
Andy, you want to close us out before Chris keeps talking?
All right, folks. So that's Sleepaway Camp, a rather deployable movie from the
Amongst
80s.
Mostly the
And alphabet adjacent, ahead of its time.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
great discussion. Good night,
All right.
everybody.
Have a good night.
Night.